Good afternoon. Welcome to Joliet Memorial Stadium down on ATI Field. It's time for St. Francis Soccer. Today taking on Olivet Nazarene. And we are underway with the Saints taking first possession, wearing their home whites with gold numbers and letters, and going from left to right on your screen. They shoot the ball out of bounds here. They will be shooting into the right side goal on the south end of the field here in the first half. Olivet Nazarene wearing the black shorts with the striped tops of yellow and purple. Black numbers on their jersey tops, and they're going from right to left. They'll be shooting into the north goal here in the first half. So they take the possession down on the sideline. Up in the air by St. Francis. They try to claim possession right around midfield. Olivet takes over. Gustavo Mancera is intercepted. Go through the starting lineups in today's game in just a moment as Olivet works it back to the defensive side and back to their goalkeeper, Mike Giannatta. Giannatta is in goal for Olivet. The rest of their starters, Maxim Nagoam, Michael Pfaff, Holden DeVore. The Saints are on a run here. They got a chance in the box, a shot and a score. Right out of the gate, St. Francis jumps out to a 1-0 lead. Morgan McKenzie, the junior from England, takes a 1-0 St. Francis advantage. 67 seconds into the game, McKenzie gets the scoring started, and a fantastic start for the Fighting Saints. Get to the rest of the starters in just a moment. Got a lot of action early on here. Here come the Tigers into the box, and Carlos Ferracoto watches that one go out of bounds. That'll give me a chance to get through some more of the starters. Back for Olivet Nazarene, Unla Hosseini, Edgar Pawnee, Rodrigo Munoz, Drake Silver, Nick Killian, Gustavo Mancera, and Maxwell Schobel. Those are the starters for Kenny Huber's team today. For the Fighting Saints, it's Isaac Avalos, Anthony Marmolejo, Hunter Foose, Fabian Alvarado, Malik Rashid, Sergio Perez. Of course, you've already met Morgan McKenzie, the goal scorer of just a few moments ago. They've also got Leonardo Haro starting today with Santos Contreras. And I feel like I'm missing somebody here. You've met most of the players by now. Let's take a look at the goalkeepers for the Fighting Saints. Carlos Ferrer Cotto, starting for the third straight game. He's allowed 2 goals in 2 games this year and made 11 saves, a record of 1-0-1. The win coming back in October. The tie came last week against Holy Cross, as a foul was called at midfield, and St. Francis gets the free kick here. Mike Giannatta, the starting goalkeeper for Olivet Nazarene, is making his second start this year. He started just one of the first 3 games of the season for the Tigers, and in that one game, he allowed 1 goal and made 1 save. It was a win. They've all been wins this year for the Tigers, who have been dominant through 3 games, although they find themselves on the wrong end of the 1-0 score right now, 3 minutes into the action. Zakhar Shkidchenko, I believe the last St. Francis starter that I failed to mention before, as Giannatta rolls this ball out to the right side for Olivet. They make their way along the far sideline back to the middle of the field. Saints take possession. Moving quickly forward, we've got a bump and a foul called. Sergio Perez was forced to the ground. And the Fighting Saints are going to get a free kick here. Right in the center of the field. They are about 30 yards off net. About 29 yards, probably more accurate. We strive for accuracy here. Malik Rashid sets the ball up. The Saints are now striving for accuracy as well, so they move the ball back a few yards. But an opportunity to take a multi-goal lead in just the first 5 minutes of the game. Here's the kick. It is deflected by the Olivet defense and sent back the other way. And that was Shkidchenko rather than Perez, who made that kick, sent back into the box and picked up on one hop by Mike Giannatta, a sophomore goalkeeper from the Netherlands. Giannotto rolls it off to his right. Down on the far sideline. Olivet was initially letting it go. It did roll out of bounds before that kick. So it's a Tigers throw in here. I'd take that back. It's a Saints throw in. Tigers got to it before it went out of bounds and deflected right back out. It's going to be a St. Francis throw once again. Hunter Foos's ball goes out before it was deflected. Throw to Olivet, but taken right back by St. Francis. They'll do it again from the sideline. We're about 5 minutes and 20 seconds into the game. 1-0, St. Francis leads, thanks to Morgan McKenzie's second-minute goal. It's already the 8th goal scored this season by St. Francis. Just a couple of minutes into their third game. Nice defense as the ball is taken away. And here comes St. Francis. Gachenko at midfield, taken away by Maxim Nagoam. Man down for Olivet, but no whistle blows. And as Unla Hosseini tries to send it downfield, he's tripped up, and a foul called on the Fighting Saints. The goal scored by McKenzie was his first this year. It's his first game of the year. I'm sure it felt good for him to get right on the board off the bat. Sent into the box, headed away by the Fighting Saints off the kick from Nick Killian. Shevchenko tripped up as the ball sails out of bounds. He was the last one to touch it. Thought there should have been a foul called. There was not. So Killian tosses it in. And Sergio Perez is called for a foul as he was grabbing Edgar Pawnee from behind. So another St. Francis foul. Free kick here for Olivet. 38 minutes to play in the first half. 1-0. The Fighting Saints lead. Maxwell Schobel takes the kick, and it's headed back away by the Fighting Saints defense. Just outside the midfield circle. Pushed ahead for Hosseini. Here's Killian working to get the ball back for Olivet. He does. Spins it over to Holden DeVore. DeVore's pass intercepted. Deflected just outside the box, and the Saints are able to clear it. Maxim Nagoam for the Tigers. Gets it back to Maxwell Schobel, and Schobel pushes it deep down the far sideline. Hunter Foos there on the defense, preventing Drake Silver from making a clean reception of that pass, but it does go out of bounds off of Foos. And Olivet gets it right back out of bounds. Anthony Marmolejo on the defense there for the Fighting Saints. I think that was Marmolejo throwing it in. And deflected back out by the Tigers. So the Saints will get the throw here along the far sideline, just shy of midfield. Foos tosses it in. It's Malik Rashid down the left side, long run for it into the box and taken away by the Olivet defense. Saints get it back on the move forward. A whistle blows. And it'll be a free kick here, or rather a throw in for the Fighting Saints on the far side. Marmolejo will do the honors. Tosses it into the box where it's quickly headed away. Perez chases it down, tries to keep it in play for St. Francis. Hunter Foos couldn't find the ball for a moment. Perez gets it back though. Perez pass deflected, right back to him. And now into the middle of the field. And sent deep for the Fighting Saints. McKenzie tried to chase it down, cleared by Olivet. Ball still in St. Francis' attacking zone. Pulls through the legs there of Gustavo Mancera. But on the back end, it does find Olivet as Killian takes a tumble. And it is Olivet ball here, but Killian a little slow to get up. Let's see if he's okay as the clock continues to run for the time being. Under 35 and a half minutes to play. Let's see if they ask to stop the clock. Killian is ready to keep going, or if he needs more attention. Killian hops up, he's okay. Nick Killian, freshman out of Germany. Tossed in and headed back by Isaac Avalos. Malik Rashid tries to clear it. Killian puts his body in front of the ball and deflects it. And now keeping his body in front of Shkichenko. And that allows him to watch the ball go out of bounds for an Olivet throw-in. Husseini has Avalos take the ball away, but Olivet gets it back. Killian rolls it forward, taken away by Sergio Perez. Lobbed in off the foot of Edgar Pawnee. And here's Sergio Contreras, or sorry, Santos Contreras for the Fighting Saints. Rashid off to the left side, taken away from him by Michael Pfaff and lost out of bounds. St. Francis throw-in. 34 minutes on the first half clock. Great start for St. Francis. They scored just 67 seconds into the game. Morgan McKenzie did the honors. Since then, we've gone back and forth, very evenly played first half as a foul is called on the Fighting Saints. Not quite so even in that regard. A lot of fouls committed by the Saints early on, not so many by the Tigers. McGowan gives it a big boot down the middle of the field, deflected back by St. Francis. Ball loose now. Killian chases it down for Olivet. Killian keeps it alive, working towards the sideline, now passing back to the middle of the field. This is Pawnee. Pawnee works his way around Malik Rashid, and Rashid trips him up from behind. And the clock stops at 33-14. As the referee has a little talk with Malik Rashid. Ball is set up 28 yards out by Pawnee. Off to the left of the net. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto standing in goal for St. Francis. Hasn't been challenged yet. He's on high alert right now as Pawnee gets set to make the kick. Takes a few extra steps back, waits for the whistle, and here we go. Kick goes on the ground and just wide of the net by about a foot or two. It goes out of bounds, and the Fighting Saints will get the goal kick here. A free chance to push it down the field after they dodged that bullet from Olivet Nazarene. Olivet is off to a sensational start to this season. They've been outplayed so far in this one, but it's still very early. They have not given up much this year. Just the one-goal deficit is a bit of a surprise for a team that had only allowed one goal in the first 3 games this year combined. Trying to get the offense rolling here. Olivet stopped by Malik Rashid. Rashid pushes downfield, and the Tigers go back the other way with it. Out of bounds. St. Francis gets the throw in here. In their first 3 games, all of them wins. There's actually a foul on Olivet, so free kick for the Saints. All wins for Olivet in their first 3 games. They've only allowed 1 goal. Their narrowest margin of victory was that first game of the year. It was 3-1. And after that, a 4-0 win and a 3-0 win. So they entered play today having outscored their opponents 10-1 in 3 games for the season. And today they find themselves trailing, and they've been trailing for pretty much the entirety of the first 13 minutes of this game, all but 1 minute of them. Olivet throw-in on the near side, just shy of midfield. Tossed in to Rodrigo Munoz. He works his way into the center of the field. This is Holden DeVore pushing it ahead. St. Francis's defense is there. And Hunter Foose watches it roll out of bounds. Olivet is going to get the throw in. Lobbed in by Michael Pfaff. He goes short with it. Maintain possession along the sideline. This is Munoz. Munoz going up against Leonardo Haro. There's the shot, and it goes wide and out of bounds. Goal kick for St. Francis. Nothing doing that time for Rodrigo Munoz. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto rolls it out meekly to his defender. Now out across midfield. Olivet takes possession. Pushed back by Mancera. Hussein. Contreras gets it for the Saints. Contreras tries to roll it ahead to Shkichenko. And Shkichenko pushes across the field where it's intercepted by Pfaff. Foose knocks it out of bounds. Just about a half hour to go in the first half. A game that has been pretty evenly matched so far, but one in which St. Francis has held the lead the whole way after they scored a goal just about a minute in. Off on the sideline, it's a throw in for the Fighting Saints. Tossed in deep and knocked right back out of bounds into that snowbank that lies on the far side of the field. Sent deep into the box. Shkichenko receives it on the back end of the play. Knocked away from him by Killian and out of bounds. It's Olivet's throw-in. Shkichenko none too pleased with that call. Here's Contreras in the middle of the box, losing possession. Tapped back all the way to the St. Francis defense. Leonardo Haro chases it down. Haro sends it to the waiting foot of Carlos Ferrer-Cotto. Big kick down the near sideline. It finds Shkichenko in stride, but Killian knocks it away from him. Coming in from the back end to make the play is Fabian Alvarado. The ball's lost out of bounds to the Tigers. Mancera intercepted in the middle of the field and sent back into the box, but falling on top of that ball, Mike Giannata prevents any scoring chance for St. Francis. Giannata, one of two young goalkeepers to have played this year for Olivet Nazarene. This is his second start. The other two starts belong to Pedro Ambrogio, junior from Brazil. Giannata's the sophomore from the Netherlands, and then their third string goalie would be Noah O'Neill, a freshman from Wisconsin. A little bit more local than those other two, but he hasn't played yet this year. Giannata has allowed both of the goals that the Tigers have surrendered this season. One in the first game of the year and one in this game. Killian across midfield finds Edgar Pawnee. Pawnee's pass is intercepted by Avalos. Tigers get it back deep down the far side. Munoz chases it into the corner. Munoz working against Hunter Foose. Foose knocks it away, and off his foot the ball rolls out of bounds. That sets up a corner kick for the Olivet Nazarene Tigers. It's their first corner kick of the game, I believe. And they are trying to tie the score up with Nick Killian going to the other side of the field to take the kick. Killian's corner kick surpasses all of his intended targets, ends up going out of bounds off the foot of Holden DeVore. Not exactly what the Tigers were looking for right there, as they're not able to hook up with anybody off the corner kick, as the clock now runs under 27 minutes to play in the first half. And the inbounds throw is made to Morgan McKenzie. Knocked downfield by Sergio Perez. Here's the run from Marmolejo. Anthony Marmolejo going one-on-one with Michael Pfaff. He gets by Pfaff, but then on the back end of that play, some defensive help from Maxim Nagom. This is Pawnee. Deflected by Contreras. Out of bounds for a throw-in. It's Pfaff's throw for Olivet. Tossed in for Rodrigo Munoz. Munoz's cross is intercepted. Now sent to the near sideline and out of bounds. Last touch by Olivet. Alvarado steps up to make the throw in and quickly taken away by the Tigers. Poked away from Mancera from behind. This is McKenzie. McKenzie fires left side. Marmolejo there on the receiving end. Anthony Marmolejo takes the shot from long range, and that's well off to the right side. Not sure if that was intended as a shot or a pass, but well beyond everybody's reach for a pass and too far wide for a shot. Clock is just about down to 25 minutes to play in the first half. 1-0 St. Francis. They're trying to mount an attack here, but nobody on the far side of the field right now, which allows Carlos Ferrer-Cota to track it down, dribble into the box, and now pick it up. Rolls it off to his right. And Isaac Avalos sets things up going forward. Morgan McKenzie turns and gives a big kick down the field to Alvarado. Alvarado tries to get by Killian but can't. And Olivet knocks it out of bounds. Alvarado tosses it in. Sent back to Sergio Perez. Perez looking to center it, but nobody's in the center of the field. And so the ball bounces into the hands of the goalkeeper, Mike Giannato. Giannato, clad in all yellow, kicks it down the right side. Back and forth, and St. Francis gets it back into Olivet territory. Now the Saints are on a run. McKenzie tried to get it ahead for Shkichenko. Just couldn't quite get it through. Intercepted. McKenzie got it back, but lost it again. And now Shkichenko battling to take possession unsuccessfully. Instead, it's Maxwell Schobel rolling it into the middle of the field and reversing to the right side, where Olivet kicks it out of bounds along that right sideline. Saints get to throw it in again. Marmolejo tosses into the box, quickly cleared. Pass into the box for Shkichenko, and he was offsides. So the offsides flag went up right away. St. Francis loses possession, and Olivet Nazarene takes over, going from right to left. It's Nick Killian. Killian forces the ball into the center of the field. Edgar Pawnee, with two defenders in tow, pulls back. And now pushes forward for Husseini. Husseini in the corner, keeps it in bounds and deflects it off of Alvarado, back out the backside for a corner kick. Ball is set up in the near corner. There's the kick. It rolls in front of the net and is lofted right back out of bounds by the Fighting Saints. Holden DeVore is taking the corner kick from this side of the field. DeVore's second chance. This time goes beyond the net, and on one bounce, it's headed into the hands of Carlos Ferrer-Cota. So two chances from the corner for Holden DeVore, the freshman midfielder, and nothing comes of the two corner kicks. St. Francis rolls it ahead on the goal kick after that one went out of bounds. Husseini tries to chase this ball down in the box. Marmolejo knocks it away from him, and again out the back line. So for the third time in the last minute, Holden DeVore The young midfielder gets a chance at a corner kick. Puts it in front of the net, and it's cleared. Back towards midfield. Olivet trying to turn it upfield again. 21 minutes to play in the first half. Into the box, headed away. Good defense there for Leonardo Haro. And the rest of the Fighting Saints. Knocked out for an Olivet throw-in near sideline. Nick Killian will do the honors from about 10 yards short of midfield. Knocked out of bounds by Fabian Alvarado. And the Saints will get the throw-in. Last touch by Olivet. Husseini working on Alvarado, and Husseini was the last one to touch it before it went out. Contreras taps that ball behind him, but nobody is there in white. And so it's an easy takeaway. Saints on the move once again. Can Shkichenko chase down this ball? He does. Looking for the cross, deflected and into the hands of Giannata. Nice job by Schobel to get in the way of that ball, not allow Shkichenko to get much on the shot. Turned it into a relatively easy save. We got a substitute coming on for St. Francis before this next throw-in. Amin Mizyed is coming in. And Morgan McKenzie, who scored the goal early, is back to the bench. McKenzie still getting in gear here with St. Francis after missing last week's game. There's the throw. And there's the quick interception. Alvarado tried to keep it alive for the Saints. He may have been poked in the eye. He's on the ground right now as the clock stops. Alvarado looked like he was clutching his face after that one, after there was some minimal contact made between him and a defender. The clock stops, 18 minutes, 53 seconds to play in the first half. It's 1-0 St. Francis. They scored on Morgan McKenzie's goal just 1 minute in. Still taking a look at St. Francis's freshman defender, Fabian Alvarado. He is helped to his feet. Looks like he's going to come out for a little bit to see what's wrong with him, but it appears to be all right as he's walking off the field. He was clutching his face initially. I thought maybe he was inadvertently poked in the eye, something like that. He'll sit on the trainer's table on the bench as we play on. Olivet waiting for the go-ahead. There it is. So off they go. And Fabian Alvarado jumps right back onto the field, so he's doing all right. Ball bounces towards Carlos Ferrer-Cotto, and finally with the defense closing in, he picks it up. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto's punt goes across midfield, where it's headed along the near sideline by Nick Killian. Saints trying to get possession back, but Killian keeps jumping in the way. Now it's Malik Rashid. Rashid off to the right side. Shkichenko tripped up and fell, no call. He falls to the ground again as Olivet takes over, and now a couple of players get tangled up. Shkichenko, I don't think, was too happy with some of the aggressive contact down the field. He and Maxwell Schobel seem to get tangled up with one another. Killian in there as well, and I'm not sure what exactly started that exchange. My eyes followed the ball moving away from the play. But it was Gitchenko involved for the Fighting Saints. Maxwell Schobel and Nick Killian for the Tigers, and that came fresh off of a series in which Gitchenko tripped and fell twice, and he has been eliminated from the game. They just gave him the red card. He tripped and fell to the ground twice, and I think he thought there should have been a call made, and I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he got tangled up with Maxwell Schobel on his way up. Both Schobel and Killian, through their body language at least, expressed disbelief at the way Gitchenko was acting. I can't speak on it myself, but clearly some frustration on Gitchenko's part precipitated the events, and he has been ejected from the game, flashed the red card. And so the Fighting Saints have a 1-goal lead, but now a one-man disadvantage. Let's see what Olivet is able to do now, playing 10-on-9 on the field, 11-on-10 technically, the rest of the way. Headed away by St. Francis' defense. Here's Pawnee. He gives it up to Drake Silver, and Silver loses possession. We're going the other way with it. St. Francis on the run, but offsides is called. Offsides there on Amin Mizyed. Just under 17 minutes to play in the first half. Husseini working his way inside, runs into a wall, and knocked down, lost the ball. The ball was frittering off to the right side. Pfaff steps in, and St. Francis knocked it out, so we're going to get a corner kick. Back post, knocked away by the Saints, out of bounds, this time along the sideline. So it'll be a throw in for Olivet, not a second corner kick from the opposite corner. Tossed in behind him to Schobel. Rolled over to the right side. Smacks in Nagoam. Pushing to the right, Pfaff. Pfaff tried to get it inside, but it's cleared by Avalos. St. Francis gets it across midfield, but only for a moment. It's in the midfield circle as Olivet tries to create a new attack for themselves. Killian downfield. Carlos Ferracoto stepped up, the ball got by him, but he watches it go to the back line, now chases it down in just enough time to prevent the corner kick. He picks it up. So Carlos Ferracoto stepped up there into a dangerous position as the ball scooted right past him, but he was able to recover and make that play, not let anything disastrous happen. Score is still 1-0 St. Francis as the free kick is knocked out of bounds. It wasn't a free kick, actually. Carlos Ferracoto just held it for a long time, then eventually placed it down and kicked it, but it does go out of bounds. Pawnee in the middle of the field. Trying to get left. He does, sending it to the near side, and Husseini into the box now that is high and over the net. Out of bounds on the shot from Rodrigo Munoz. Munoz trying to make something happen there. He's had a couple of good opportunities and strong efforts. Nothing has come of them so far. Munoz this season, playing in just his second game, has no goals for Olivet, but their top 2 goal scorers are not playing. Max Casper already has a whopping 5 of them, and Daniel Casagoma has 3. Those 2 men who have combined on 8 of the team's 10 goals on the season are both not playing. Husseini tripped up by a sliding Fabian Alvarado. And it is Olivet Nazarene ball on the throw-in. Mizyed passing it back and deflecting it out of bounds. In the box, Perez takes it away, and Sergio Perez is able to clear it. That's Anthony Marmolejo. Marmolejo was forced off the ball, though. Now a tussle for it, won by Leonardo Haro. The Saints had a brief chance at a run, but doesn't happen. Marmolejo tried to get that ball before Mike Giannotta. Giannotta's able to clear it. And now the same thing will happen here as the ball rolls back to the St. Francis goalie. And he's going to get a chance to clear it, but he won't do it on the kick. At least not initially. He's going to set things up and punt it downfield. Or a drop kick, one way or the other. Cross midfield, headed by Mizyed. But right back to Schobel, and Schobel finds his goalkeeper Giannotta. To the sideline, Husseini into the middle of the field. A collision. Nagoam got tripped up, but no call as the possession goes on for Olivet and lost out of bounds. Olivet throw in as Killian backs it up. We've got a stoppage now, 11:53 on the clock for the first half, and Isaac Avalos is shaken up. He hobbles off the field, and that's why the stoppage in play right now. The clock is stopped. And Avalos says that he's okay. Just got to go back to the middle of the field, I think, to check in before he can truly be ruled okay. They can't check back in until the ball is back in play, and now here we go. Thrown into the box. Munoz forced off the ball. Killian, sliding stop by Haro, and Haro couldn't keep it in bounds. So that makes it a corner kick for Olivet Nazarene. Kick set up by DeFore, in front of the net, headed and in. Goal scored by Olivet off of the corner kick. See who it was who knocked that one in. It was set up by Holden DeVore on the corner kick. A nice one into the backside. And headed straight in with 11:18 to play in the first half. So we're tied at 1. And give Olivet now the advantage because they have come from behind to tie the score. And now they're playing a man up thanks to the red card that was given to Zakhar Shkidchenko earlier in the first half. So it's been an active first half. We've seen an ejection. We've seen both teams score, including the Saints scoring early, less than 2 minutes into the game. And now in the 34th minute, Olivet Nazarene ties things up. Off to the sideline, out of bounds. Throw in for the Tigers. Killian forced off the ball by Anthony Marmolejo. I think it was Maxim Nagoam who scored that one, and that's true. That's his first collegiate goal. Freshman from Cologne, Germany. Foul is called on Olivet. Kick is sent straight out of bounds on the fly off to the right side. Schobel throws into the middle of the field. Go. Sends it back to the left side. Killian's pass is intercepted. Battle for possession finally won by Malik Rashid and the Saints, but Rashid's big kick is cleared out the other way by Mike Giannotta. Here comes Mancera. Mancera blows by one defender and rolls the ball out to the right. Hunter Foose knocks it back down the field along the sideline. Olivet in possession. DeVore back to Schobel. Schobel is deflected. Here come the Fighting Saints. Mizyed can't keep it in bounds. Knocked away by the Tigers. It'll be Saints ball on the throw. Just under 9 minutes now to play in the first half. A tied first half, 1-1. And Olivet Nazarene's 34th minute goal. The Saints scored one in the second minute. Deflected by the Saints. This is a chance to get downfield, but a foul is called on Husseini as he tripped up Diego Cortez. Cortez pops back up, and the Saints set up for the free kick to be taken by Leonardo Haro. Haro, instead of going downfield, rolls it right back to Carlos Ferrer-Cotto, who's got a strong leg, but also has the opportunity to direct it to the opposite end, going left. And it's a throw-in. Two sides arguing over who should get it, and it's Mike Pfaff who wins that argument over Hunter Foose. Leonardo Haro wins the ball back for the Saints. He kicks it across midfield. Saints have not been able to sustain a single attack since Shkidchenko was kicked out of the game with a red card. So it didn't go anywhere for them, but at least they got a good-looking shot off. Like I said before, their offense looked strong to start the game, but since they've been playing with a man down, hasn't been quite as impressive as one would expect. They'd like to get their chances back against Mike Giannotta and company. Down to the back line, and the Saints can't keep it in bounds. It's out for a goal kick. 6.5 minutes to play in the first half. Tie game. Olivet Nazarene has dominated their first 3 games of the year. It should be offsides. Husseini was down below the defensive line. An offsides flag did indeed go up quickly. And St. Francis gets the free kick. Leonardo Haro pushes it right in front of him, gets it right back from Sergio Perez. Now Haro along the sideline looking for Cortez, deflected the other way. Loose in the midfield circle. Mancera is there. Mancera's pass deflected. And St. Francis chases it down. Here comes Mizyed. Mizyed. Nice moves, works his way to the right. Now he rolls it ahead. There's a shot from Marmolejo, and it's wide. Out of bounds. Nice setup from Mizyed. Not a bad look there for Anthony Marmolejo, but he's not able to do anything with it. Well, that Nazarene makes the substitution, bringing Alec Thornburg in. Not sure if that ball from Marmolejo was intended to be a shot. It might have been a pass back to Mizyed, but either way, it narrowly missed the goal. Whether it was meant to be a pass or not, they certainly would have taken it if it went in. Down down towards the back line, and Carlos Ferracoto watches it go out. St. Francis goal kick coming up. 4.5 minutes to go in the half. Looks like Oscar Leon coming on for the Saints. First time we've seen him today. Marmolejo makes the long walk out of bounds. On the far end of the field, that ball skips up onto the big pile of snow and sticks there. It's easier to track down that, I guess, than if it had hopped into the bleacher seats. Olivet ball across midfield on the far side of the field. Pushed ahead by Drake Silver, and now getting close to the box, the Saints are able to knock it away and out of bounds along the sideline. Where do we get a foul? We got a foul call, I think. Or offsides is the call. Sorry, offsides against Olivet Nazarene prior to that ball going out of bounds. So offsides gives St. Francis a free kick. Fighting Saints led the majority of this half, but right now they're just trying to go into intermission with a tie score and be able to regroup after a tough second part of this first half. First 20 minutes were great. Since then, not quite as much. Foul called on the Saints here. Killian steps up to take the kick. Pushes it ahead to Pawnee. Munoz in the box, has the ball taken away from him and whacked high into the air. Secured by Killian as it comes down. Rolled to the center. Foul shot to the right side from Edgar Pawnee. Pawnee's shot misses by a wide margin. Carlos Ferracoto sets up for the goal kick here with 2 minutes to play in the first half. One bounce across the midfield stripe. Battle for the ball won by St. Francis, but the pass that ensued was stolen away immediately by Olivet. Saints try to get it back. Hunter Foose along the sideline. Kept in bounds by Mike Pfaff. Not able to clear it, and now it does go out along the back line as Foose tried to keep the possession alive. It ends up going out for a goal kick. Back the other way by Leonardo Haro. Olivet from the defensive side. Nice work by Rashid to step in front of that ball. Not able to control it though. Got just a minute to play in the first half. Avalos rolls it to the center and it's knocked away by Mancera. Now finally, after going back and forth at midfield for a while, Carlos Ferracoto finds the ball back in his domain. He gives it a big kick downfield, knocked out of bounds, last touched by Olivet. Saints are taking their time on this throw, and they'd like a chance to score one more goal. Tied right now, looking to take a lead in the halftime. But it doesn't look all that likely right now that either team is going to score before halftime as the clock runs under 20 seconds. Carlos Ferracoto, as usual, taking his time here. Finally, as Rodrigo Munoz offers the token pressure, Carlos Ferracoto picks it up. As soon as he kicks this ball, the first half should be over. He might not even kick it. There's the kick, but the first half is over. Buzzer has sounded, and it's halftime here in Joliet. We're tied 1-1. Action-packed first half. St. Francis scored in the second minute. Then Olivet took a one-man advantage as the Saints' Zakhar Shkidchenko picked up a red card, and Olivet used that advantage to score their first goal off of a corner kick in the 34th minute. So here we sit now getting ready for the 46th minute of action, and there has certainly been action. 1-1. We are tied, and we'll have the second half for you in just a little bit. But right now, I'll step aside. Don't go anywhere. This is St. Francis Soccer on the USF Sports Network. We're ready to start the second half here in Joliet. St. Francis and Olivet Nazarene are tied 1-1. The Fighting Saints got a goal in the second minute of the game, just 67 seconds, in fact, into play. But then after picking up a red card later in the first half, Olivet, playing a man up, was able to even things out in the 34th minute. Here come the Saints trying to strike first in the second half. Anthony Marmolejo all the way down to the back line, chases it down, but well defended. He tries for the cross, and it is knocked away. Good defense by Olivet. Still in the attacking zone for St. Francis. Malik Rashid works his way inside. Cleared out by Mike Pfaff. Nice defense by Pfaff. And it'll be Olivet's throw in here. An exciting start to the second half as St. Francis tried to get back on the board right away. Didn't happen for them there. We'll see if they can keep up that same energy throughout this second half. Again, playing one man down has been difficult for them, as you would expect. It's always difficult, but the game really turned after the red card to Shkidchenko. Now Olivet on the attack, but Carlos Ferrer-Cotto is there to pick that one up. And Carlos Ferrer-Cotto takes his time before punting it downfield. Ferrer-Cotto, senior out of Spain, has been one of the best goalkeepers in the history of the institution. Statistically, actually, probably the best. Gave up his third goal of the season earlier today on a good shot off of a corner kick. Maxim Magom put the ball in off the assist from Holden DeVore. That was the Olivet goal. St. Francis goal came from Morgan McKenzie. Got freed up, and a clear shot on goal very early. As I said, it was about 67 seconds into the action that he scored his first goal of the year. A great start to his season, getting his first start this year. St. Francis able to clear that one just over 2 minutes into the second half here. It was a very evenly matched game early, but St. Francis played most of the first half with the lead thanks to that early goal. As this ball is sent down the sideline towards Marmolejo. Marmolejo has position ahead of the defenders, trying to cross it. It was deflected away, and that allows Olivet's defense to get back. Marmolejo crosses to McKenzie. The header goes wide of the net. Nice setup by Marmolejo as McKenzie was looking for his second goal of the game. But it was defended well by Olivet, and it was just a little bit wide of its intended target. So we remain tied 1-1. During that first half, even though St. Francis was playing with the lead most of the way, it was a very evenly matched game. Neither team appeared significantly to have an advantage, but Olivet trying to develop an advantage right now. Silver inside, and the ball's knocked away. Silver was also offsides, so it wouldn't have counted if he had made that play. After the red card for Zakar Shkidchenko, things turned around. Olivet started to dominate possession time, keeping the ball in the attacking third of the field. But St. Francis was able to sort of level things out towards the end there. Had a few other chances late in the first half, and early in the second half, they've looked good on the attack. Trying to create one right here. Marmolejo can't get there in time. The Spaff knocks it downfield. There's Malik Rashid setting up Anthony Marmolejo again. Looking to pass it to McKenzie, but too many defenders in the way. And Marmolejo is sent to the ground as a foul is called on Gustavo Mancera. So the Fighting Saints will get a free kick here from about 32 yards out, a little bit to the left of center. Morgan McKenzie seems to be the one lined up to take this. Shadows creeping over this half of the field. It's been a beautiful sunny winter afternoon. Here's McKenzie's kick. It's deflected by Mancera, and the ball loose now on the far side. Secured by St. Francis and pushed ahead to Haro. Leonardo Haro trying to make a play on this, but Olivet's able to clear it out of bounds. Tigers will throw it in. Even on a day that was in the 50s, temperature-wise, as the sun starts to set, it's going to be a little chillier down there during the second half. But all things considered, when you're playing a February soccer schedule, this has been about as good as you can ask for. Marmolejo won't get to that ball as it goes out. It's going to be a corner kick for St. Francis. Everybody on the field seemed to think it was going to be a goal kick. Even the Saints players were kind of positioned downfield. But Olivet's players all seemed shocked when the referee indicated the ball should be placed in the corner. Kick is away from Contreras. And it's a goal, I think. Knocked in by St. Francis. Mike Giannotta tried to make the stop on it, and it just trickled past him, bounced back out, but it did cross the line, and it was a St. Francis goal as they reclaimed the lead off the corner kick. They scored early in the first half, and now they score early in the second half, 6 minutes in. And they move ahead 2-1. Both teams now have scored off of a corner. The 51st minute of action. They're back in front. First time this year that Olivet has allowed more than one goal in a game. Remember, they only allowed one goal in 3 games combined coming in. As Carlos Ferrer-Cotto chases that ball. He can't get to it before it leaves the box, but it ends up drifting out of bounds along the sideline anyway. A big crowd of people. I didn't see who got that last touch on the ball for St. Francis as it went in. We'll find that out as we go. Set up by the corner kick from Santos Contreras. And 2 hops, that ball skids into the hands of Carlos Ferrer-Cotto. Big kick downfield off of Mike Pfaff and out of bounds. Hunter Foose tries to center it to Sergio Perez, can't do it. It's taken away by Silver. And now downfield for the Saints. This is Marmolejo in the corner. Marmolejo works his way into the box. There's the shot, and it's wide to the left. 37.5 minutes to play. 2-1 St. Francis. It's not going to be easy here with Olivet playing a man up, but certainly much easier in that situation when you're playing with a lead. You can afford to drop some guys back. Works it into the middle of the field. Pawnee loses possession as Hunter Foose tries to chase it down, can't get to it in time. Tossed in the direction of McKenzie, but knocked away from him. Foose keeps it in as he lofts it over the defensive players' heads, but nobody back there wearing white, so it's easily tapped back into the hands of the goalkeeper, Mike Giannotta. On the far end of the field, Contreras pushes it ahead. Sent back to the midfield. And now Anthony Marmolejo from the striker's position, working his way forward, weaving between a couple of defenders. Sends it out to the right side and out of the reach of Contreras. Olivet on the defensive end has control of the ball. Maximilian Schobel in possession, works it off to the right side. Downfield to Pawnee. Leonardo Haro is able to clear it for St. Francis. Along the near sideline, Mancera working against Foose, pushed back into the midfield circle. Here's Schobel. Schobel rolls it to the left. Now in front of the net, St. Francis trying to knock it away. Ball is loose in the box and knocked out of bounds. Free kick here for St. Francis, offsides rather than out of bounds. Out across midfield. Bounces once into the foot of Anthony Marmolejo. Marmolejo loses control of it. That takes over. There's the whistle. Foul called on St. Francis. Olivet puts it back in play quickly. Across midfield once again. Long run for McKenzie, and it bounces into the hands of Mike Giannotta. Olivet works it to the far side of the field. Across midfield, there's the shot, deflected off the hands of Carlos Ferrer-Cotto. Silver chases it down on the back end of the play. Silver looking for the cross there, but he sends it into the side of the net. And that means a goal kick for St. Francis. With 33.5 minutes to play in the second half, St. Francis has the 1-goal lead. Sent downfield off the head of McKenzie. McKenzie fighting for it again, out of bounds. Marmolejo on the move, trying to get around Nagoem into the box, and picked up by Giannotta. On the right side, this is Mancera. Got Perez to leap into the air. Mancera holds onto it, pushes back to the left. Killian off towards the sideline. This is Husseini losing it out of bounds. Into the middle of the field. This is Pawnee. Pawnee's pass deflected by Rashid. And knocked out of bounds by Malik Rashid. From the near sideline, inbounded to Mancera. Mancera works it across to the left side. Killian chips it into the box, trying to set up Pawnee. Pawnee in front of the net and cleared by St. Francis. Great defense there. I believe it was Leonardo Haro who knocked the ball away. And the Saints are able to prevent the equalizer there, but Olivet's still on the attack. Mancera trying to cross over to the middle, deflected by Rashid. Mancera gets it back, and his shot kicks off to the right side as it's nicked by a fighting Saint defender and out for a corner kick. 13.5 minutes into the second half. St. Francis scored on a corner kick themselves a little bit ago, and now Olivet, who did that same trick in the first half, trying to do it again right here. Munoz's kick. Headed towards the net, off the post, and did not go in. Boy, that was a close one. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto caught it off the deflection. A couple of Olivet players held their hands up to indicate celebration that they had scored a goal, but it did not cross over the line. So St. Francis, on a very close call, maintains their lead. It was a similar play earlier in the game when St. Francis scored on their corner kick. I believe it was Morgan McKenzie who came in and took the shot and shot it past Mike Giannotta before it ricocheted back, and Giannotta was able to make the catch, but even while he held the ball in his hands, it was a goal. Stefan Olivet is in for the first time for the Fighting Saints today as they go to their bench. Just about a half hour to play in the game. Here's the shot from McKenzie, and he scores! Morgan McKenzie, what a shot from way outside, and St. Francis leads it 3-1. 30 minutes, 15 seconds to play in today's game. And the Fighting Saints have taken a multi-goal lead for the first time. And that is the third goal of the game for McKenzie. Sensational season debut. Trying to work his way forward once again there. Pfaff got in the way. Olivet pulled to the floor. Actually, that was Contreras, sorry. Contreras pulled to the ground on the opposite side of the field, and the foul is called. So that sets up the free kick for the Fighting Saints. Picked up by Giannotta, rolled back out. Downfield, Avalos chasing that ball down, but a whistle blows before he gets to it. There is Tiger on the ground, Rodrigo Munoz, rather. And so the foul called against St. Francis. Leonardo Haro given the yellow card, 29 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. It's the second booking of the game against the Fighting Saints. Wide to the right on the free kick. And out of bounds for a goal kick. Under 29 minutes on the clock now. Second half action as Carlos Ferrer-Cotto sends it out across midfield. Mancera spins back across for Olivet, but taken away by Haro. Good ball work by DeVore here. DeVore gets around a few defenders. Rolls it out to the right side, Mancera. Mancera sets himself up looking for the cross, instead has to pass it back to Mike Pfaff. Pfaff rolls it back into Mancera, three defenders around him. Saints not giving an inch here as Olivet looks for their second goal, knocked away and out of bounds. Tigers toss it in and the Saints clear it. McKenzie pushes it ahead for Marmolejo, and Marmolejo was offsides. Pfaff puts the ball back in play, sending it behind him to Maximilian Schobel. Contreras is tripped up, and the whistle blows as Holden DeVore took him down. Contreras is up and running again. Kick is away from Haro. Going down the near sideline to Anthony Marmolejo. Marmolejo. Stare down with Pfaff. Now he makes his move. His cross is deflected. McKenzie on the other side of the field there. Not able to make the play as it goes out of bounds for a corner kick. Clock will stop here with an injured player. That is Nagoam. Nagoam gets up and starts moving again, so we're ready to continue with a corner kick down on the far side for St. Francis. Fighting Saints have the multi-goal lead here thanks to Morgan McKenzie, who struck once in the first half and twice in the second. Sergio Perez from the corner. Both teams have scored off of corner kicks today, but not this time as it's headed back towards the sideline. Saints try to regain control. Avalos to Foose. Hunter Foose puts it towards the net. And the catch is made by Mike Giannata. Killian tumbles to the ground. No whistle blows as the Saints take possession back. Santos Contreras deflected towards the sideline, out of bounds. Saints get the throw here. Lobbed in for McKenzie, taken away from him, knocked out of bounds. Ben Martin of Olivet, the last one to touch that ball. So it is another St. Francis throw-in with just under 26 minutes now to play in the second half. Saints trying to hold on to a 2-goal lead as we start to get late in this game. Perez works his way around one defender. Now the cross, a little bit out of the reach of Diego Cortez as it rolls out the back line for a goal kick. Pfaff pushes ahead across midfield to Mancera. Mancera looking for Silver. Carlos Ferracoto comes sliding in. And we've got a whistle as Carlos Ferracoto took out Drake Silver. Going for the ball, but he got the legs of Silver. And we've got a call here against the Fighting Saints. And the third goal that St. Francis scored, looming large right now as Olivet Nazarene gets set up for a penalty kick. Rodrigo Munoz looks like he's going to be the one to take the kick. Penalty was called on Carlos Ferrer-Cotto, and now he'll have to try to clean up his own mess in net. Munoz lines it up, waiting for the go-ahead. There it is. Here's the kick. And a block by Carlos Ferrer-Cotto. The rebound goes out of bounds, and the Saints make the stop. Great save by Ferrer-Cotto. And that's always one of the most dangerous things on the penalty kicks, the rebound, if you do make the initial stop. But the rebound went wide, and now a corner kick. Kick comes in and cleared quickly by the Saints. Nice job by St. Francis. Here's Pawnee, grabbed by Cortez, and Cortez is called for the foul. This time just outside the box, so it will not be another penalty kick, but a good opportunity to free kick now. Edgar Pawnee set up to take the kick here. Two Saints defenders in front of him. Mancera out there as well. Mancera's the one who takes the kick. Mancera goes to the back post. The ball loose out in that direction and out of bounds, last touched by St. Francis. So it's an Olivet Nazarene corner kick. Set up by Holden DeVore. Here's DeVore's kick, comes in short. Sliding in front of the net, Carlos Ferrer-Cotto knocks the ball away and back out of bounds. This time, though, it was an Olivet Nazarene player who touched it last, and it'll be a goal kick as finally St. Francis gets the ball out of harm's way. It's been down here for a long time. We've seen a penalty kick, a free kick from just outside the box, and a couple of corner kicks. But the Saints were able to turn the Tigers away time and time again. And now as we reach the halfway point of the second half, it is finally back across midfield, going in the Saints attacking zone. Schobel off the defense for Olivet, pushes to the left, and now back to the goalkeeper, Mike Giannata. Saints lead 3-1 on the strength of Morgan McKenzie, who scored just a minute into the game to start things off. Olivet tied it up late in the first half as Carlos Ferracoto steps out of the box and knocks that ball out of bounds. It was 1-1 at halftime, but off of a corner kick, St. Francis responded early in the second half. Another McKenzie goal, and then a little bit later, McKenzie put one in from long range on the right side of the field to make it 3-1. Didn't get confirmation that it was McKenzie on the second goal, but I believe that was him who came in and kicked it off the feed from Santos Contreras. So if I saw it correctly, it's a hat trick for McKenzie, who walks off right now as Amin Mizyed comes back in. Comes Olivet, knocked away by the St. Francis defense, and rolls to a stop at the feet of Carlos Ferracoto in the box. Punt from Carlos Ferracoto goes straight out of bounds right at midfield. Here's Michael Pfaff's throw in. Off the foot of Edgar Pawnee and knocked out of bounds by Sergio Perez. Saints clear it. Back to midfield. Schobel steps up and knocks it to the far sideline. He's got Ben Martin there. Martin forces it forward, but it's out of bounds. Saints throw in. It's a wet ball down there because of all the snow on the sidelines, even though the field itself should be dry. So before the throw-in, you can see Fabian Alvarado wiping the ball off as much as possible in his shirt. Now he tosses it in. Stepping up Giannata out of the box, and now an empty net. The shot is deflected out of bounds from Mizyed. He had an opportunity there. His eyes grew big when he saw Giannata come way out of the net. But there were still three defenders in the way, and one of them deflected it out of bounds for a corner kick. So we go to the opposite end of the field. And Alvarado sets up for a corner. Just under 19 minutes to play in the game. Here's Alvarado's kick, goes to the back post and over the head of Diego Cortez, and out of bounds. Saints still in possession here as Hunter Foose makes his way up from the back line for the throw-in. Into Mizyed in front of the net. He tries to take a shot and scoots it just over the head of Giannata and over the post. Out of bounds for a goal kick. I don't know what Dan Cross said to his team at halftime today, but Saints have had a lot of good scoring chances in this second half, which is certainly surprising considering the way that first half ended. Shevchenko took the red card and playing 11 on 10 for the second half of the first half. It was really dominated by Olivet Nazarene. There's an injured player on the field for St. Francis, and the clock stops at 17 minutes 38 seconds remaining. It seemed like when the score was 1-1 at halftime and St. Francis was struggling to get into a rhythm playing with just 10. Seemed like Olivet was in position to kind of take over this game, and St. Francis was going to play more for a tie, and of course they wanted to score at least one goal and put themselves back in position where they could maybe play a little bit more defensively. They got that goal so early in the second half, and they really haven't let up. Their offensive attack has been much more consistent here in the second half than it was certainly late in the first, if not the entire first half. The Saints are trying to stay undefeated on the season. They won their first game. They tied their second. This is their third game this season. Cortez is up, walking off the field on his own, so that's good. We got a shot up high. He seems to be doing okay. See if he's able to check back in a moment. We are ready to continue here, though. Saints are now playing 2 men down, and so they'll bring Anthony Marmolejo back in. So there's 1 man down now. And once we're ready to continue, we've got a throw-in coming from the far side of the field. Malik Rashid tosses it back in. And here we go. 3-1 USF. Olivet playing without their 2 top goal scorers of the season today, but needing to find some offense somewhere. Trailing by 2 goals and running out of time. There's Silver off to the left side. Cross is deflected, loose, and a goal scored by Olivet. They've brought it back to within 1 as Rodrigo Munoz gears up off the deflection and knocks it into the back of the net. 3-2. 17:06 to play. So, I mentioned a moment ago that Olivet was starting to run out of time. 17 minutes. Feels like you're running out of time when you're down 2, but now down 1. Still not in a great position, but they've got to feel like there is plenty of time left in this game to get that equalizer. Big goal from Rodrigo Munoz, and for Munoz, that is the first goal of the season. Back to the goalkeeper. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto gives it the big kick downfield. Long run for it. Marmolejo takes the shot and deflected away. The ball's still loose on the field, but they're able to deflect it away before Amin Mizyet can get there. Nice stop by Giannotta. Good shot by Marmolejo, even though he wasn't quite able to finish. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto steps up out of the box and kicks that ball out of bounds on the far sideline. Tigers will toss it in. Into the box and taken away by St. Francis. Get over to Pawnee. Pawnee knocks it back into the box. Saints trying to stand up on defense once again, and they do. There's the clearance, but taken right back by Olivet. Now the 2 play pinball with each other on the far side of the field. Back to the middle and into the midfield circle. Pfaff gives it back to Nagoam. And Olivet is on the move, but out in front of themselves a little bit too much as Carlos Ferrer-Cotto is able to pick up that loose ball. Got a good offensive game going here in Joliet today. 5 goals scored. St. Francis got the scoring started very early, just 67 seconds in. Well, that tied him up briefly, but Tigers, who had only allowed 1 goal all season coming in, have found themselves trailing for the vast majority of this contest today. Pfaff fell down, allowing Marmolejo to get to that ball, but Pfaff's recovery came in enough time to knock it away. Now a shot from long range soars over the net from Sergio Perez. And goal kick coming. An injured player down at midfield for St. Francis. Looks like Leonardo Haro. Not sure what happened to him or when it happened. 14 minutes, 48 seconds to play. We've got another timeout here. So the injuries are starting to pile up for St. Francis in this game. Trainer's table is still occupied by Diego Cortez, who's been over there for the last 3 minutes after he went down with an injury. And now Leonardo Haro is most likely going to have to come out of this game for a little while as well. They're stretching out his leg, so maybe that's something tightened up down there. It is starting to get cool, as you might expect in a late February game, but we started under sunny skies and 50-degree weather. Temperatures dropped into the 40s. The sun has not set completely yet. In fact, it won't set for another half hour or so, but the lights are on and in full effect here at Joliet Memorial Stadium, and the sun has fallen behind the bleachers behind us, so the entire field is shrouded in shadow. So the temperature drops. Players might start to tighten up a little bit more. And they continue to work on Leonardo Haro down in that midfield area. 3-2 St. Francis leads. As I said just a moment ago, they've led most of the game. They led for about 32 minutes of the first half, and then after Olivet tied it up late in that first half, St. Francis wasted little time scoring in the second off of a corner kick. They got one in the 51st minute. Leonardo Haro is off the field, walking with a slight limp, but he is moving around, at least on the sideline, so doesn't seem to be too bad for him right now as Morgan McKenzie comes back into the game for him. We're back underway. Clock moving once again as St. Francis tries to protect their 1-goal lead over the final 14.5 minutes. Olivet moving from left to right. St. Francis takes the ball away. Perez's pass deflected by Killian and stopped at midfield by Olivet. Pawnee works it to the left side. Pushed back behind him. Sent downfield by Schobel. There's Hunter Fu stepping in and heading that ball out of bounds. Right at midfield, tossed back in. Good move by Sergio Perez to free himself up. Ahead to Marmolejo, who stays on sides. Marmolejo trying to cross it. There's the shot deflected away. Loose ball sent packing by Olivet. They're able to clear it. Nice opportunity. Good effort by Anthony Marmolejo, just not quite able to finish it off. Now it's Silver on the other end. Silver trying to get himself into the box. Defended by Avalos. There's the cross. There's the shot, and it's just a little bit wide. Hunter Foose tried to clear that one, and he missed on the kick. Ball went right under his foot, and that freed up Olivet to take the open shot, but it did just go wide to the right side. And so it remains a 1-goal St. Francis lead as we've got yet another injury on the field for the Fighting Saints. This one is Sergio Perez, who's very slow to get up. 13:24 on the clock as it stops again. And Perez comes to the sideline. He jogged off the field, looked to be okay, but he is going to take a little bit of time off as Leonardo Haro comes back in. And Haro was the one who just got hurt a minute ago. So as seemed to be the case as he left, it was not anything too bad, and he's able to get right back out there. Here's Mizyed for the Saints. Ahead for Rashid, right back to Mizyed, but taken away from him. Here's Nagoam. Troubled from behind, but he keeps the dribble going. Passes it ahead, and Isaac Avalos is there to take it away for St. Francis and knock the ball out the sideline. Tossed into Michael Pfaff. Rolled into the middle of the field. Nagoam, he lost it, but he lost it right to Holden DeVore. Now Schobel pushed ahead towards the sideline, out of bounds. Lobbed into DeVore. He taps it towards the middle of the field. Works his way to his right. Pawnee into the corner of the box and headed towards that back line. Tigers try to keep it in bounds, and they do. Deflected away by Contreras and out of bounds. Offsides called against Olivet Nazarene. So the Saints will get the free kick here with under 12 minutes to play. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto's kick goes across midfield, immediately picked up by the Tigers. Knocked down the middle of the field and cleared by Leonardo Haro. There's Morgan McKenzie battling for that 50-50 ball, but it's won by Pawnee. Flag goes up against Olivet, foul called. Going St. Francis's way. Out of bounds is the call. So the Saints will just toss it in. Thought they'd gotten Tigers for a foul initially there, but it is just the Saints throw in. Olivet gets it back and cleared again by Haro. Gives it a big kick back the other way and all the way into the opposing team's box, where Mike Giannata is able to scoop it up and start moving the other way. Into that snowbank on the left side. Back out of bounds for a St. Francis throw. Alvarado is set to throw it in, but we're going to get a substitute coming in first. Sergio Perez checks back into the game. Perez stays on the bench for only about 3 minutes after leaving with an injury. So good to see him back out there. Amin Mizyed comes out. So it's McKenzie and Marmolejo up top now for the Fighting Saints. That pass intended for McKenzie. It shot past him. Olivet's able to clear it going the other way. Now we've got a collision on the field and a foul called against St. Francis. As Killian hit the deck. Play it back on the free kick. Moving towards the near side. 9.5 minutes to play in the game. Nice takeaway by Marmolejo. McKenzie rolls it ahead for Marmolejo. He'll get there before it goes out of bounds. So now possibly a chance to set up an attack here. Marmolejo looking for the cross. Deflected out of bounds along the sideline. That's a throw in. Comes Marmolejo's throw. Off the foot of Sergio Perez. Perez working his way towards the sideline, and that one went out of bounds. It is out on St. Francis. So it's an Olivet throw in now. With just over 17 minutes to play, they tighten things up from 3-1. Their goal made it just a one-score game, but now they are desperately seeking that third goal that would tie it up, and they've got just 8.5 minutes to do so. Down the field, headed back by the Saints. Knocked into the air by Rashid back across midfield. This is DeVore trying to hold on to possession with Perez breathing down his neck. Sends it back out of the middle of the field. This is Nagoem. Nagoem, the freshman from Germany, rolls it to the right side. Michael Pfaff trying to center it to Silver. Knocked away by Rashid, and Rashid is called for the foul. Set up for a free kick. About 40 yards out, in the middle of the field, rolled out to Pfaff. Pushed ahead into the box. Cleared by St. Francis, out of bounds. Pfaff gets it right back in bounds. Tap back to Pfaff. Over to Nagoem. Now on the right side, Mancera. Mancera looks to cross it. Contreras gets his head on the ball first. Deflects it behind him. Olivet still in possession on the far side of the field. Headed away by Avalos this time. Second effort. Knocked away by Carlos Ferrer-Cotto and pushed out of bounds by the Saints. Nice save by Carlos Ferrer-Cotto on a bullet shot from Drake Silver. Opportunity on a second chance for Silver. But Carlos Ferrer-Cotto stonewalled him. Now the corner kick. Headed away by the Saints. Olivet stays on the attack. Mancera's pass is deflected away, and Contreras clears it back across midfield. Giannata steps up close to the midfield line with everybody else on the other end of that line. Olivet trying to work quickly here, 6.5 minutes to play. Pawnee loses it. Trying to get it back. He keeps it in bounds. Pawnee along the sideline. Sends it to the middle of the field. Out of the reach of Drake Silver. And Santos Contreras clears it, looking ahead for Marmolejo. Headed back the other way, though, by the Tigers. On the far end, this is Pfaff. Rolling it back to Schobel. Maximilian Schobel gets it over to Ben Martin on the right side. Ben Martin trying to work the ball forward. He's got Silver in front of him. His pass is deflected. Knocked away by Avalos after Alvarado got the initial deflection and knocked out of bounds as Marmolejo can't quite catch that ball. Substitute coming on for Olivet Nazarene as Husseini comes back in. Ben Martin is coming out. Tossed into Holden DeVore. DeVore across midfield. Halted by Sergio Perez. And the ball is going St. Francis's way with the clock now ticking down under 5 minutes. Hunter Foose tosses it in. Taken back by Olivet Nazarene. Drake Silver. Over to Munoz. Munoz forces it ahead looking for Husseini, but Contreras gets in the way. Santos Contreras down the field. And Giannata is going to have to step up to make this play again. Precious seconds running off the clock for Olivet. Getting late here. I shouldn't say that. It's been getting late. Now it is actually late. Olivet trails by 1 goal. Just over 4 minutes to play. There's Mancera in the center of the field. Passing off to the right side. DeVore tries to chase that ball down and can't. Out of bounds for a St. Francis throw-in. Of course, the Saints are at a point in the game where they're taking their time on all dead balls. Munoz chased down by Malik Rashid. Munoz keeps his dribble going and passes back behind him. To Munoz once again. Rodrigo Munoz looking for the shot, but it sails out of bounds. Goal kick for Carlos Ferrer-Cotto. He sets it up right in the center in front of the net. Olivet is keeping their whole defense up high, trying to create an attack as soon as they get possession back. We're under 3 minutes to play. The ball sent back to the goalkeeper, Giannotta. Giannotta forces it to his left. Michael Pfaff starts the attack moving the other direction. This is Killian. Killian has it knocked away from him, but right back to Pawnee. Pawnee finds Mancera. Sliding tackle by Sergio Perez to knock it away and down the field. But we've got a whistle against Sergio Perez here, who is hurt. So the clock stops at 2 minutes 23 seconds as Perez, for the second time in the last 15 minutes, is shaken up. And again, they're stretching out that right leg. Last time he was able to get right back onto the field after just a couple of minutes. We've only got a couple of minutes left in the game right now. Perez's kick went out of bounds. I think it was Perez's kick. St. Francis's kick went out of bounds. It's going to be an Olivet Nazarene throw in here as soon as we're ready to go. Perez had the whistle blown on account of his injury, but he's walking off the field now, and so he departs, and taking his place is Stefan Yakovalivic. Now we're underway. The ball is thrown back in, and Olivet resumes their attack. Pawnee gets it off to the right to DeVore. DeVore shakes off Anthony Marmolejo and passes over to Pfaff on the left side. Working ahead, Malik Rashid deflects that pass, and Rashid is called for the foul. Man down for Olivet. Clock is ordered to stop at 1 minute and 55 seconds. Nick Killian gets himself back up. He's okay. He'll stay in the game. The ball is positioned 35 yards out on the left side. There's the kick. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto deflects it, still loose, and he falls on top of it. Nice work by the senior goalkeeper of St. Francis. Couldn't catch it initially, but he parried it away from the net and then chased it down to his left and fell on top of it to prevent any chance at a rebound. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto has given up 2 goals, but he's played very well today, including a big stop on a penalty kick earlier in this second half. Under 1.5 minutes to play as that ball is sent back into the box, and this time Carlos Ferrer-Cotto has an easy time picking it up on one bounce. He takes his time before punting it well across midfield once again. Anthony Marmolejo trying to cause some problems for Olivet, but ends up getting called for a foul. 69 seconds still remaining. Foul called against St. Francis, and the clock is stopped. Olivet puts the ball back in play. Clock starts running again. Yakovalivic trying to chase this ball down, looking for the clearance. Olivet's playing keep away for the moment. Now Yakovalivic's able to get his foot on it and send it downfield. Marmolejo, I think, was offsides. He was not able to touch that ball, but that at least slowed down the Olivet attack, and now they're down to the final 45 seconds. Mancera down in the corner, starts to work his way out, runs into a teammate, deflected away by St. Francis, and that forces Olivet further and further from the net. Mancera, working against Hunter Foose, tries to push it forward again. There's his cross, out of bounds, and that should come close to putting a bow on this thing. 30 seconds and counting, and by the time Carlos Ferrer-Cotto sets this ball up and boots it downfield, this game may be over. St. Francis came in with a goal in the first 1.5 minutes, and they never let up against an Olivet team that pushed all the way to the final minute. But it looks like this game is going to come to an end with St. Francis victorious 3-2. Our final buzzer is sounding, and it's game over. 3-2, Fighting Saints take out the Tigers of Olivet Nazarene, and a good hard-fought win for the Saints today on a day in which they lost one of their top strikers in the first half. They were okay without him, playing one man down for the entire second half and much of the first as well. They were able to not only keep their lead, but at one point even add to it. And they were up 3-1 before Olivet was able to make it a one-score game, and they weren't able to get over the hump as our final score comes in at St. Francis 3, Olivet Nazarene 2. It was a very exciting game. A lot of action in this one going on both sides, and it just wasn't quite enough for Olivet in the end. Missing some of their top scorers, they just didn't have enough offense to make the comeback, even against a shorthanded St. Francis team. Scoring started in this one very early. Morgan McKenzie, just over a minute into the action, scored his first goal of the year to make it 1-0, and St. Francis clung on to that one-goal lead for much of the first half, and then off of a corner kick, Holden DeVore set up Maxim Nagoam, and Nagoam scored his first goal of the season, making it 1-1, a header off of that corner kick, and it was 1-1 at halftime. The Saints were playing a man down thanks to a red card that was given to Zakar Shidchenko, and so they had to play 11 on 10 the whole second half, but it didn't take long in the second half for them to add to their lead. It was on a corner kick 6 minutes into the second half. The corner kick was sent in by Santos Contreras, and I believe it was Morgan McKenzie who came in again. If I saw correctly, it was kind of tough to tell from where I was sitting, but it looked like McKenzie came in for his second goal of the game. That gave St. Francis a lead they would not relinquish, as McKenzie scored impressively from deep on the right side later, his third goal of the day. That made it 3-1 St. Francis. Later on, a goal from Rodrigo Munoz in the 73rd minute for Olivet tightened it up at 3-2, but despite keeping some pressure on late, they were not able to get their third goal, as Carlos Ferrer-Cotto made some good saves down the stretch to clutch out of that lead for St. Francis and make it a 3-2 final score. The win for the Fighting Saints makes them 2-0-1 on the season. 2 wins, 1 tie, no losses. And Olivet Nazarene loses for the first time. They had allowed just 1 goal in the last 3 games. They allowed 3 goals in 1 game today, and so they fall to 3-1 on the season. That'll do it for our broadcast today. The final score again, St. Francis 3, Olivet Nazarene 2. Until next time, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis. Good night, all.